Kakadosh Boker Tov, we're continuing with Daf Kufman Zayin, which is 147. We were just on the last line, the last three words of Kufman Vavum Bet, where it says, Amar Ravuna. Ravuna says, Hamna'er talito b'Shabbat. If somebody is going to shake his talit off on Shabbat in order to clean it from any dust or dirt which is on top of it, Chayav Chatat, he's going to be Chayav Chatat because of Melaben. Velo amnan ala b'chatte. But this is only talking about when it's a new clothing. But if it's an old clothing, let lamba, there's no problem whatsoever. Velo amran, and we didn't say this. Ya ela be'uchme. Only if it's a black clothing. But if it's going to be white or reddish, let lamba, there's no problem whatsoever. Right? But he says that usually that the dust and everything is going to ruin the appearance of the black clothing, and that's why only by black is it a problem, and not by white and red. The huda kapi the layu plus he's going to be makpid on it, which means he's makpid that he wants it to be clean. Okay, so now the Gemara says, Ula ikla le pumpedita. Ula visited Pumpadita. Chazar Rabbanan to come up. So he saw that the rabbis were coming, and they were shaking off their jackets from dust. Amar kamchalel Rabbanan Shabbata. He says, what, the rabbis are being mechalel Shabbat? Amaleu Rav Yehuda says of Yehuda to Tamidei Pumpadita, efutze lebeapeh. Do it in front of his face. Says, why? Ana lo kabdina mide, because we're not makpid. Which means, since we're not makpid, when there is a vak on the begadim, so therefore it's mutar lechatchila even to do so. Because since we're not makpid, so then that's it, you're allowed to do it, and there's no problem whatsoever. So Abaye have a kai kamed Rav Yosef. Abaye was once in front of Yosef. Amar le, and Rav Yosef told Abaye, havli kumtai, give me my mikba'at, give me my hat. Chazadi katala ale, so he saw that there was dew on the hat. So he didn't want to give it to him, right? Because he wanted to shake it off. So Amale, he says, Nefut shade, just throw it off. I'm not makpid. So you could just take it off, no problem. Meaning if you're mamash makpid on it, it's a problem. If you're not makpid, there's no problem. Amar Rav Yitzchak bar Yosef, Amar Rav Yochanan says, somebody says, name Rav Yochanan, if you're going to come outside from the Reshut Yechid, from the private domain to the public domain, with a talit which is folded and put on your shoulder, so you're going to be chayav chatat. Why? Because it's not normal carrying the talit, and therefore you're carrying it on Shabbat, and it's a problem. We also learned in Raita sochrek tzut, people that sell clothing, that they go out in the shutabim talitom chatat, and not only sochrek ksu bilvad amru, ela kol adam, everybody shedarkan shemochrin letzebekach, because that's the normal way of selling it. Right, that means the way of selling it is putting it on your shoulder like that. But everyone, Bennett, if they're going to go out that way, it's considered a burden because you're not really wearing it in the normal way of state. So he says, so if you have a money changer that he's going out with money which is hanged up on his sadin, so it says chayav chatav, not only just by a chenveni, ela kol adam, but rather by everybody. But it's normal for a chemeni to go the way. Fine. Says the Gemara, Varatanin Yotzin. So we're talking about the people of Ratan. It's the name of a place. Right? They used to go out with Sudarim Ketvein. That was the normal way of those people doing it. So Amar Rav Yehuda says, Maseh Behukanus. There was a story of Behukanus, the son of Rabbi Lezer ben Horkanus. Shiatza b'Sudah Kedva b'Shabbat. But he had a little string tied to his finger, right, in order to hold it so it doesn't fall. You're allowed to take it even without the little tiny thing tied on his finger to take it out. Let me just check if there's any picture. These are the ratanim, yotzim biyado, yotzim, and with a string to his finger. These are ratanim. Okay, fine. Then it says, Darash of Nachman bar Rav Chasta, Mishmed Rav Chasta, lalacha, av b'sheni makrucha lo betzvotav, it's going to be permitted to go out. Okay, next. Ula ikla lebe Asi Barhini. Ula went and he visited the Bet HaMidrash of Asi Barhini. Ba'aminer, so he asked the following question. Are you allowed to make a gutter on the Shabbat or not? But you're talking about with a talit. No picture. I don't know. You're going to make like a type of a gutter. I guess the Gemara is going to explain. So he says, Amar lehu, hachi amar Rabbi Ilai, asur la'asor marzev b'Shabbat. You're not allowed to make a marzev on Shabbat. So my marzev, what is a marzev? Amar Rabbi Zera says Rabbi Zera, kise bablaita. We're talking about kisim babliim. Okay, so they used to make like a kis. Here it is. This is like the gutter. They're making like the kisim babliim. So it's like a gutter. It's like a hem on the inside. Are you allowed to do that on Shabbat? So Rabbi Yirmiyah Haviyati Kamed Rabbi Zera. Rabbi Yirmiyah was once in front of Rabbi Zera, and he told him, Hachi mai, what is Zalachana on Shabbat? Amale Asur, Hachi mai, and how was here? Asur. Fine. So Amar Papa says, you have to grab this general rule in your hand. If you're doing it to pick it up, and to leave it there forever, it's going to be Asur. Kol deletes out, if you're doing it just for beauty, it's going to be permitted. Because he used to do it every single day, just that way it looks nicer. Like the pleats, the folds, sometimes they used to be like a cuff. So it was actually, it was nicer that way. It's all in fashion. Once upon a time, everyone used to go around with cuffs. And it became the opposite way around. So again, everything's down and then it's on the inside. So it all depends. When Rav Dimi came from Eretz Yisrael to Bavel, Amar, he said, once Rabbi went out to the field, he had on the right and the left, he had the two different parts of the talit. Says Yoshua ben Zeruz, ben Chamir shel Rabbi Meir, right? Bezo lo chayev Rabbi Meir chatat. Says 1 second, in this Rabbi Meir wouldn't be mechayev chatat? That means his brother-in-law was Rabbi Meir. His name was Yoshua ben Zeruz. So Amaleh, he told him, Diktek Rabbi Meir ad kan, right? He says that Rabbi Meir was medayek until here to be mechayev chatat. Even in this case, the opposite. It's mistaber that the entire isur was talim mekupelet. So shilshel, but still shilshel Rabbi talito. Rabbi put down the talit because he didn't want to, even on a doubt, he didn't want to transgress the words of Rabbi Meir. So Kiat Ravi Namar lo Yoshua ben Zeruz avai. It wasn't Yoshua ben Zeruz, but rather it was Yoshua ben Kefusai haya. Chatanos shel Rabbi Akiva, the chatan of Rabbi Akiva. Okay? Amar bezolo chayev Rabbi Akiva chatat. Melodi de Rabbi Akiva kan shesher Rabbi talito. So Kiat Shmuel ben Yehuda Amar nishal itmar. It was like a question in front of Rabbi, but it didn't actually happen to Rabbi himself. It was just a question, but not that it actually happened to him. The entire story. Fine, Mishnah. On the bottom of Kuf Mem Zayin, Amud Aleph. Harochetz b'mei me'ara. If you're going to wash yourself with the waters of mikveh me'ara, of the cave, or metveria, nistapag, and then you dry yourself. Filu be'esel nitol, even if it could be with 10 different types of towels, lo yevim yado, you're not allowed to bring the towels to your hand, to your house. Aval asara b'nei adam yisapkim, but 10 people could use the same towel. For example, for their faces, hands, and feet. They're allowed to bring it. Okay, why? Because basically, since there's a lot of people, we're not going to suspect they're going to come and they're going to start squeezing the towels. You're allowed to anoint yourself with oil on Shabbat, and you're allowed also to put it on your body with for hana, but not allowed to do it very, very strong on your body. Okay, so you're not allowed to do it also megareret, which is made for that also. And your din lekurduma. You're not allowed to go down to a river on Shabbat. The name of the river was Kordima. Or you're not allowed to make a pikduzin, which was basically like a vomit type of a food that used to cause them to vomit. Okay? You're not allowed to straighten out the bones of a child, of a baby. You're not allowed to put back a bone that was dislocated. You're not allowed to put it in cold water, but rather you just wash normally. And if it was that it became cured, it cured. So says the Gemara, Ktani, we already learned the waters of the cave water is like the waters of Tveria. Just like Tveria is in hot, so to the cave water could be even in hot. But it's only mashma harochetz if you already did it, not that you're allowed to take you're allowed to shower with this water on Shabbat. Miklal. So it comes out that even to put your entire body in hot water, right, in one shot, it's going to be asur lechatchila. Mani, who is this? Sorry, afilu lechatchila shav damin it's mutar. Who's this? B'Shimon. Time we learned in the right, lo yishtat v'dam b'milcha mitzrayim to be permitted, but Shimon says it's permitted. Yehuda says in hot water it's permitted, in cold water it's permitted. Okay, fine. Says the two dots. Nistapag. We're talking about that you dried yourself. It says nistapeg afilu be'eser aluntit, even with 10 different types of aluntits. Now we're talking about 10 different types of towels. So reisha revuta kamashmalan, says the Gemara, the reisha and the seifa, each one of them was teaching us a chidush. Reisha revuta kamashmalan, the reisha was talking about a revuta tafilu hani. Because even these people, they don't have a lot of water. Kevan dechadu, since it's all one, which means since it's one person, he could come to squeeze the clothing. The seifa is coming to touch us, also a chidush. Even if there's tons of water, since there's a lot of people, they're not going to squeeze it because each one will remind the other one. I mean, there's so many people, somebody will remember that it's Shabbat and it's a suit to squeeze. So even though it's soaking, you had 10 people with one towel using the same towel, still it's going to be permitted. You're allowed to put it in the chalon, in the windowsill. Okay, let me say that, but you're not allowed to give it to the balanim because they're suspected for coming and squeezing the clothing. You're allowed to use this aluntit achat and bring it to your house, and we're not going to suspect that you're going to squeeze it. So Amalei Abaye Rav Yosef says Abaye to Rav Yosef, and he comes and he says as follows: Hilchatan by what's halacha? So Amalei, he tells him Rabbi Shimon, Har Rebbe. This is Rabbi Shimon. This is Rebbe. Har Shmuel Rabbi Yochanan. This is Rabbi Shimon Rabbi Yochanan. Why? Rabbi Shimon was what we said before, right? Because we said Rebbe, right? The Tanya Rebbe Kishinu Rabbi Shimon Bitkoa. When we were learning Torah by Rabbi Shimon in Bitkoa, in the name of the city. We used to take shemen from, right, with an aluntit, right, from the chatzer to the gag to the kapef, right, to the papaf, until we used to get to a mayan. Okay? And then they used to bring it back. So this is the Shita of Rabbi Shimon and Rebbe. Shemuel, Rabbi Yochanan also Rabbi Yochanan Alcha. So it comes out that these are all the different shitot of the different rabbis. Okay, that it's basically Rabbi Shimon, Rabbi Shemuel, and Rabbi Yochanan. Okay, so these are all the Tanaim and Amonaim that they permit even for an individual to bring it back home. Okay. Umiyam Rabbi Yochanan Hachi. So does Rabbi Yochanan actually say this? Rabbi Yochanan says, Halakha ki stam Mishnah. Halakha is like the stam Mishnah. Right? Utnana, we learned in the Mishnah. Nistapag afilu be'eser aluntiyot. Revim yado. If you're nistapag, even in 10 different aluntiyot, you shouldn't bring it in your hand. Right? That means even if you're going to come and you're going to use 10 different towels, you shouldn't bring it in your hand. So answers the Gemara, Ha'u kechen chachinai matnila. That was like ben chachinai. That it was taught like that in accordance to that. So Amar Rabbi Barabba Amar Rabbi Yochanan says Rabbi Barabba name Rabbi Yochanan. Ha'uliyarim mivim balarena ashim lebebane. The balanim are allowed to bring on Shabbat to the Bet HaMilchas, right? The magavot, which were for the women. As long as they're using it to cover themselves, their head and the majority of their body. Okay, so they were able to use these types of like a malbush, like a clothing. So it says the Gemara, sechinati. So it says sechanita, which is basically sudar gadol, which used to cover the entire. It's like a shawl. Okay, so it says you have to tie it downwards. That's this. You have to tie it. Okay. Amar Rabbi Barabba Amar Yochanan says Rabbi Yochanan lemata min ha'ktafayim. It has to be below the shoulders. So Amalu Rabbi Livnei Mechuza says Rabbi Livnei Mechuza ki ma'avritu mane livnei chela. When you guys need to pass by clothing to the chayalim sherabivu behu, right? למטה מן הכתפיים, that they were שלשלו את הבגדים below the כתפיים, right? So that's what they were able to do it that way. צחינו משמשים, so you're allowed to anoint, and you're allowed to be משמש. תנו רבנן anoint to the ברייתא. צחינו משמשים מהעים בשבת, ובלבד שלא יעשה כדי שהוא עושה בחול. As long as they're not going to be doing it like דרך חול. איך יביד, so how are they doing it? Right? So the Gemara, Rav Chama bar Chanina Amar, Sach ve'akach mimashmesh. Rabbi Yochanan Amar, Sach mimashmesh b'bat echad. He says you're going to anoint it with oil, and afterwards you're going to put it on, right? And then it says, right? So that's the entire machloket. You're allowed to put the oil on the clothes, on the body, as long as you're not doing a derech like shul sebechol. How do you do it? You have to put it on, and then afterwards, Rabbi Yochanan says you do it in one shot. Avalom itamlim, but you're not going to put it on very hard, the oil. So it says, so you're not allowed to stand by the river of Diomeset because it's going to warm your body up and it's going to cure you. It's 21 days that it cures a person. And Atzeret Shavuot is part of those 21 days. So we ask the question, is it part of the 21 days that it cures or part of the 21 days that it doesn't cure? Meaning like the other days that it doesn't cure. So Tashmad Amar Shmuel, Kulu Shakere Midivcha ve'Hadatzat Me'olo. It says any type of liquids are good for the fuah between Pesach and Shavuot. Because Shavuot is the end of the time which is Mesugal for the fuah. That's why if you remember we said Iyar is Ani Hashem Lofecha. Right before Sivan, right before Shavuot, that's the time for refuah. So it says the Gemara, Dilma hatamu, the kama the karid alma me'alev is maybe as long as it's cold, it's good. Avalach mishum havla over here is because of the heat. So to give the chamim alma tfei me'alev, maybe because it's hotter, it's better. So it should be close to Shavuot. Samar b'chelmo says b'chelmo, chamna de pruga maya de diumaset, the wine of Progita and the water of Nahar Dumyaset, kipchu Aseret Shvatim Yisrael. It made us lose the 10 Shvatim from Yisrael. Why? Because they weren't learning Torah, and that's why they went on the bad path. Because they were wasting their time on the waters and all these things instead of Be'emet, and learning Torah. Elazar ben Arach went there. Imshech Batraihu, so he went after those who out. Yakar Talmuden, he forgot his learning. Ki Adarata, when he came back, Kam Lemikra B'Sifra, he wanted to learn, to read the Torah. Ba'al Mikra, you wanted to read a Chodesh Zelachem, B'amar Acheresh Yalibam. That means his friends understood that he didn't read it properly because he forgot his learning. They asked for mercy on him, right? And then he was able to remember his learning, meaning that he completely forgot his learning. Right? He went there, he was, the person has to go vacation, they have to rejuvenate 100%, but he completely forgot his learning. And that's what we said. A person should always go to Galut, to a place of Torah. Don't think that the Torah will come after you. Because your friends are going to help you learn Torah. Don't remember. Meaning, Ben Arach, he thought he's going to go to a place of where there's no Bnei Torah. But don't worry, he's smarter than everyone else. He'll know more than everybody. No problem. He forgot his learning because he went to a place where there's not Bnei Torah. Tanya, we learned on the right. His name is not Rabbi Norai, but rather Rabbi Nechemiah. Some people say his name was Rabbi Elazar ben Arach. So why was he called Rabbi Norai? Because he used to come and illuminate the eyes of Chachamim and Halacha. Okay, so just imagine what this was. Amash, he was a person that he was able to illuminate their eyes, and then he forgot everything. Incredible. Okay? Fine, 2 dots. Avalom mitkorodin. So it says, we learned on the right. You're not allowed to come and comb the hair on Shabbat, the flesh on Shabbat. If your feet are dirty with teeth and soah, you can actually come and try to do it normally, and then you're not going to suspect anything. So Shmuel bar Yehuda, right, the mother of Rabbi Shmuel bar Yehuda, she made for a megeret of kesef, of silver, in order to clean himself. Right? And again, why? Because once it was designated for Shabbat, it wasn't uvdin dechol. Right? Because if it's a utensil which is designated Shabbat, that's why a toothbrush, if you have a special toothbrush just for Shabbat, it's not uvdin dechol mitzad the toothbrush. Okay? There might be other problems, schita, memareach, whatever it is, but there's no problem of uvdin dechol. In your din lekurdima, says the 2 dots, My time out, what's the reason when you're not allowed to go down to this Hordima? Shumpika. Because of Achlakah, it's very slippery, so you're not allowed to, the Chachamim said you're not allowed to go there because they suspected that you're going to get all wet and then you're going to squeeze your clothing. You're not allowed to make this potion in order to vomit on Shabbat. That's only if it's going to be a potion. But to put your hand inside your mouth and to take out the food, it's going to be permitted. Even during the week that you're not allowed to do that with your hand. Why? Or not with your hand, with a potion, because you're causing the food to be bal tashchit, you're losing that food. Some people, they love that. I know a person, he did the surgery. Yeah, what does he do? He comes and he still eats everything. But he can't. His stomach can't hold it. So what does he do? He eats everything. He's stuffed that he can't even breathe. He goes to the washroom, finger, everything out. Bal tashchit. Yeah, why? You don't have to do that. You're purposely indulging in the world in order to afterwards come and just cause everything to come out. Yeah? We're not going to be misader the katan. Amar Rav Yochanan says Rav Yochanan, La pufe yenuka b'Shabbat shapir dami. It says, to put it around the clothing, around the baby is going to be permitted. So ask the Gemara time and say, I thought we said you're not allowed to form out the child. So it says, Gemara, hatam bechumra b'shidra. There we're talking about with chulyoto the shidra, the mislik boneh, looks like boneh. Okay? Ve'en machzirin tashev, you're not allowed to put back a dislocated bone. Amar Rav Chanan Amar Shmuel, said Rav Shmuel, halacha is machzirin tashev. You are allowed to put it back. Rabbi Barchana, Kuf Mimchet Amud Aleph, we're just going to get to the two dots. Rabbi Barchana Yikla Pumbedita, Rabbi Barchana got to Pumbedita, Lo Al Pirkei, and he didn't go to listen to the Drasha of Rabbi Yehuda. Shad Le'ader Daya, so Yehuda, he wanted him to come, he sent a messenger. Amali, he told him, Zil Garbe, come. Yeah, take a mashkon from him in order that he should come. So Amalei Zil Garbe, Zil Al Garbe, he went and took something, one of his clothing. He saw that he was doing the Drasha. Amale Chana Didan Shmuel Didan. So one said, Chana is Mishalanu and Shmuel is also Mishalanu, which means they're both Babylonians. Velo Shmiali, Rabbi, I didn't hear it. Vela Bedina Garaftich. So that wasn't it true that I had to bring you here? Meaning that I should have, it was purposely that it was good that I took a mashkon from you in order to make sure you come to Bet Midrash, so you tell me this halacha, because we didn't know, and they were both from Babel. Okay? And we continue with Bezrat Hashem tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Friday.
Friday. Thank you.